So the next is American opportunities to education credits, right? So education credit, and this is something which is phenomenal in the US, right? The focus on learning and the amount of tax benefit that you can get from learning is tremendous. Okay. Now, see, what they're trying to tell you is this. We want, okay, again, there are a couple of things, right, which you look at the stage of the economic development that your country is in. I'll tell you a small, I'm diverting a bit. I'm just giving you an example. My husband is with Siemens, okay? So he was telling me from his company, they had the CEO visit them, okay? CEO of Global Siemens who visited them. And he said that, when he went and he spoke to the employees and their children, and he had a daughter who was some 12, 13 years old. And, he went through everybody, he met everybody, and his family did not come. He was the only one who came. And he visited every place, and then he came back and he said, that, I would have loved to have my children be in India at this stage of their life. And the reason is, in Germany, everything is state funded, right? So education is no longer a rarity. People don't value education that much, right? In India. So if he said that, if you talk to my kid, probably if you ask him or her, what is the future plan that you're having? The kid would probably say that, let me see, I'll finish high school and then probably I'll take a year or two gap and then I'll come back. We're not very clear. But if you talk to anybody who's in India in a similar bracket, they would have rosy dreams about what I want to do because education is something that people strive at. It's even now when when we are, in fact, I mean, it sounds very crazy, but actually we factor in whether you want to have another kid or not, depending on what is the amount that you want to spend on the current kids that you have. I mean, that is something which I don't know how many of you realize, but people like us, we do it because education is that important to us, and that reflects in our children the goals that our children also set. Right? In the US, in the most developed countries, education is something which is a right, and the state, and it's mostly state funded. Okay, so now we're talking about some economic incentive that you get if you keep on studying. So we have something called a lifetime learning credit, which is like great. I go and have a course on, let's say, taxation. I'm really interested in taxation. I go and enroll for some course. I can actually get a tax reduction in my 1040 because of a course that I took. Why? Because they want me to keep educating myself and keep being relevant for the job. Even otherwise, I have to push the people to push their children to complete their college education. So I give them an economic incentive. I tell them that every time a person goes to your college and he's considering 4 years of college education, I'll be very glad to help you because I would want you to take this tax benefit. Right? So what we're telling you is first talk about the American Opportunity Credit. We say that if you're funding for your spouses or your dependents' education for the first 4 years of your college education, remember first 4 years because your college, the major graduate level education is for 4 years in the US. So for first 4 years of college graduation, remember not the fifth and the sixth year because this will be post grad, and we're not giving you an incentive for that, but for the first 4 years of your college, if you are funding for whom, for yourself, for your spouse, and for your dependent, an amount that you paid for books, for tuition, that means basically registering yourself in the college, I will give you a maximum credit of $2,500. And how do you calculate this $2,500? For the first $2,000, I'll give you full 100% credit. And for the balance 2,000, I'm going to give you one fourth credit. Right? So you get maximum 2,500. You spend the first 2,000, I'll give you full 2,000. You spend the next 2,000, I'll give you $500. So like this, it adds up to $2,500. But remember, it cannot be for room. It cannot be for board. It has to be for tuition, qualified tuition expenses. Again, if there's a student convicted of felony, drug offense, and stuff, that will not be covered, and there's a phase out applicable. I don't want you to dig too deep on the phase out, but this phase out typically means that if you're filing a married filing jointly return, then the moment your return hits 160, I'm going to reduce this 2,500 to let's say 2,000, 1,000, 500, 200, 300. And the moment it hits 90,000, immediately I will not. So from 160 to 180, the moment your combined income touches 180, you will not get any American Opportunity Credit as a deduction. So basically, in this 20,000 range, we are phasing it out. So if your income is, let's say, $168,000, Okay, and you have spent, let's say, $5,000 on American Opportunity Credit. Can you quickly tell me how much deduction will I be getting? Vitali, this is for you, specifically for you. Tell me if your combined income as an MFJ is $168,000. So what you will do from 160 to 180. Okay, that means within this 20,000, you have to phase out 2,500 worth of deduction. So the portion that you have already eaten, that you will not get. The portion that remains, that you will get. So out of 20,000, you have already eaten 8. So you will be getting balance 12. So of how much, assuming you're eligible for full 2,500, you will be getting only 12 by 20, which is for 3/5. 3/5 of the deduction. Is this clear? Mitali, is this clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Okay. Now, see here again, we're doing the refundable credit also together. That means we're also considering one part of refundable credit. So, if you're earning whatever you're earning, but if you're spending on education for higher, for just the grad level studies, which is first 4 years of college life, then I'm going to give you 2,500 of credits. And out of this 2,500, 40%, which is $1,000, I will also let you claim as a credit. That means I'm also ready to give you further $1,000 in your kitty in case if your AGI levels are really low. So if let's say assume I am a person and I so after 18 years I wanted to go and study in the college, but I don't want to be dependent on my parents. Remember, independence is a very big factor. If you ever get a chance, please read the biography of Benjamin Franklin by Walter Isaacson. It's a beautiful book that will give you an idea about the founding fathers and what were the emotions that they wanted their country to have. Equal opportunity to all. People who work hard should be able to be successful, not by hierarchy, not by the birth, not by the status. And the best part is, so many years down the line, actually, America has become a country where if you work hard, you're able to pull yourself up. Where people look down upon, just hierarchy and status. It's more about what you are today. Okay, that's important. So, what I'm trying to tell you is imagine if I'm an 18-year-old and if I'm trying to work on my own, fund my own college education, I file my own income tax return. They're telling you, very good. If now you're able to take the American Opportunity Credit, if now you're able to fund your college education, even though your earning may be really low, you may be just flipping burgers at Subway, at Manti. Even then, I'm ready to give you a check of $1,000. Why? Because you are deserving of it. I want you to complete your college education. It's like state telling you, please go ahead. We are standing by your side. I don't know now $1,000 is how much in the bigger scheme and whether it's at all making a difference, but that thought itself makes a difference, I feel. So that is one kind of credit. Now, two things I want you to remember here. I can get this credit for as many children as I have. So if I have, let's say, two kids who are in the college and two kids who are going to the school, get this 2,500 for two kids who are in the college. Okay, so I can have it for as many kids because this deduction is on a per student basis. It is not on a per taxpayer basis. But there's another credit called a lifetime learning credit. A lifetime learning credit, you would get a 20% credit on $10,000 of money spent on a per taxpayer basis. That means for one taxpayer, you can get only one lifetime learning credit. And this can be quote unquote on any course for any number of years, any course, graduate, undergraduate, undergraduate, postgraduate, any course. I want a course on Microsoft Excel. I pay for that course. If it is still 10,000, I can get 20% of that as a deduction from, and it's a dollar to dollar tax reduction, mind you, right? It's a dollar to dollar tax reduction. So it's for me, it's like saying instead of paying to the government, I'll just pay for a course and I will fund this. The only thing is you have to figure out there will be still an outflow from your pocket, but some part of it will be state funded. Again, this course could be for your taxpayer, spouse, dependent, and again, the same phase out range would apply, and there would not be any refund for lifetime learning credit. The refund will only be for the first 4 years of your college education. So, in my example, if I had four kids, two of them were going to college, two of them were going to school. In that case, or let's say out of the two students, so let's say four people, two college, two school, I could get I could get a lifetime learning credit for for one of my student till $1,000. So one of the child, I can get a lifetime learning credit till $2,000 provided I've spent 10,000. For the other two college going goods, I could have got American Opportunity Credit worth $2,500. Even for a child, let's say I have one child. The child is in the college, but in the sixth year. Can you tell me how much credit will I get for that child? I have a child who's in college and uh, I have a child. Again, see, Sunita, again, this is what I want. Get that sixth sense kick in. I would not have put you this question if the would answer would be no credit, isn't it? I have a child who's in the sixth year of his college education, post grad, and I am paying a big amount of money. What is the credit that I can get? I will not get any American Opportunity Credit, but I can get a lifetime learning credit for a child who's in the sixth year, right? Any education. Me, my son, me, my husband, my spouse, and my child. And one credit till $2,000 for one person. So I'm not eligible for American Opportunity Credit, but I would still be eligible for lifetime learning credit. Is that okay, Sunita? Yeah. Now think, okay, the reason why all of these questions have been chosen is not to just explain you the concept, but also to let you know the traps and the tricks that would be there hidden somewhere. So, whatever I'm teaching and whatever theory that we have spoken about, I'm pretty sure you can answer these questions on your own. And once you've understood the provision, you're sorted. You don't have to redo the provision again. See, what is the maximum credit that Jim may claim on his current year tax return? Jim has two dependent children. So, this is two dependent children, George and Martha, who are attending accredited college in the current year. George is in the fifth year senior since January 1, spent $7,000 for tuition and fees, and Martha is a freshman with no prior post secondary education, but a tuition expense of 4,000 student. Okay. Yeah. So basically, freshman basically means first year. Jim meets all the income and filing status requirements for the education credits. There is no tax-free assistance to pay these expenses. Jim's tax liability before the credits is $14,000. What is the maximum credit that you would be able to? Anybody here think what is the maximum credit that you would be able to take? Yes? Anybody think? Tell me the answer. Uh, I'm not giving you the answer for this to the time I'm not getting answers from you. So I'm also waiting. First, decide whether I'm eligible for AOC credit or not. If no, then go to lifetime learning credit. First student George. Am I eligible for AOC? Yes, no? No, because I'm in the fifth year. So I'm not eligible for AOC. So that means I am eligible for LLC. What is the provision for LLC? LLC. So for him, you will get LLC, which is 20% of the first $10,000. This guy paid only 7,000. So it's only $1,400 for LLC. For Martha, who's a freshman in the first year, she would be eligible for full American Opportunity Credit. What's the provision? 100% for the first $2,000 and 25% for anything above $2,000. That means for the next $2,000. So here she will be getting full 2,500 as a credit. So for this person, you can get full AOTC credit for the person for the child who's in the freshman or the first year of college. And for the child who is in the fifth year, you will be eligible only the lifetime learning credit. Now, see this provision, if you've understood, you solve 5, 6 questions. The moment you understand that, yes, I've understood the provision, don't be in a compulsion to complete all the MCQs given to you, to complete all. You see, I had a student who registered with Glide. Okay, now this guy called me. I think he gave his first paper sometimes for FAR. He took his first paper in FAR and he was not able to clear it. I think 73, 74 he got stuck. The next paper he was supposed to give his bar. And 2 weeks before the paper, or 2.5 weeks before the paper, he called me completely freaked out because client has a lot of MCQs and he had no strategy. He was planning to do all the MCQs another time. So I told him that the fact that you've completed the MCQ once is big enough. You don't even need to complete it once. Follow the provisions. If you've understood the provision, you've done two, three, four different kinds of questions. If you've understood the provision, don't have a compulsion to complete whatever is given to you. Have a strategy in place, taking your time into consideration, and then only go ahead. The best part is the questions that we have chosen in our life class, the way that we are explaining. We are choosing those provisions or those questions that helps you understand the provision completely. You don't have to solve 10 questions to arrive at this understanding. You have understood everything in American Opportunity and Lifetime Learning Credit with just one question. So your job is done. Even if you're just able to revise what we're done doing in the class, do a couple more MCQs so that you get confident, and just revise everything. Solve sims with complete alertness. You are sorted. So don't be under a compulsion to, have a boundary which you, the moment you fix a boundary, oh, I will do this 3 times, I will do this 5 times, you are gone. Have a flexibility in your learning. Okay?